When I was 25 years of age, a young man with a new printing office, a new newspaper, and just beginning to make my way in the world, a novel new publication appeared in London. It was a curious thing. Mr. Edward Cave was the author of it, and his notion was to each month publish a little book of about 50 pages or so, and in each month's book he would record the latest in news, reviews of books, poetry, plays, marriages, deaths, literature, scholarship, modern discoveries in natural philosophy, all the things current that might be useful for a gentleman to know. The idea was that his subscribers would receive one of these little 50-page books every month, and at the end of the year bind them together in a cover with an index that he would supply at the end of the year and a general title page and so on. Now, what was he to call this novel new publication? Well, it was, as it were, a sort of warehouse, a storing place for all that was useful for a gentleman to freight his mind with. And so I suppose he could have called it the gentleman's storehouse or the gentleman's warehouse. But he used another word that had the same meaning and called it the gentleman's magazine. For until that time, the word magazine had never meant anything but a sort of storage place. Well, the Gentleman's Magazine proved to be a great success. The year following, the London Magazine appeared, and since that time, many others. Even I attempted such a thing. I attempted to publish the first American magazine. I called it the General Magazine, to sound as much like the Gentleman's Magazine as I could. It came to nothing. It was too soon. Americans were not prepared, or perhaps I was not prepared for such a thing, and so it failed after 6 issues, I think. Now there are, a dozen American magazines, and there are, I know not how many English ones, so much so that the word magazine has come to have an entirely different meaning, and when people hear of a magazine, the first thing they think of is likely a publication, and no longer a warehouse. Now, in creating this new thing, this magazine, Mr. Cave came up with 2 mottos to put upon the general title page, both in Latin. The one translating as to be useful and to be entertaining. The other one was suggestive of the content, that this was within a single volume. It contained every sort of article imaginable. Not all the same thing, but many, many different things, and yet bound together as one. And so he chose the motto, E Pluribus Unum, from many, one. And so it has continued these 50 years and more. Now, with our new republic, the motto of his magazine has been adopted as one of the mottos of our country, E Pluribus Unum. And I think it is an appropriate one. When one considers the variety of climates, of peoples, of languages, of religions that are found within these 13 states, soon to be 14 or 15 or 16 perhaps, one cannot but see the similarity with the magazine. They are all bound together as one, but each retains its own character, its own distinction. A poem does not become a review of natural philosophy because it is bound together in the same cover, and neither does a Georgian become a New England man because they are bound together in the same nation. And so I think it is a fine motto, but I thought perhaps some might not know from whence it came, and that is why I thought to tell you this today.